What you're seeing on screen is the wagh nakh or tiger claws, a weapon wielded by Shivaji Bhosle I, famously known as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Now this weapon is set to return to India on loan for 3 years. It will be brought from London's Victoria and Albert Museum and is expected to find a home at the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Museum in South Mumbai. Maharashtra's Culture Minister Sudhir Mungantiwar was scheduled to travel to London to formalize an agreement with the museum for the repatriation of this historic weapon. The Maharashtra government has set up an 11-member committee to plan the security and transport arrangements to bring back the tiger claws from London. The story of Shivaji's wagh nakh is quite dramatic in several aspects. Shivaji Maharaj used this weapon centuries ago and killed Afzal Khan with it in the Battle of Pratapgarh. So what happened between Shivaji Maharaj and Afzal Khan in the Battle of Pratapgarh? Here goes the story. In 1659, Afzal Khan, the general in the Bijapur Adil Shahi Empire, was tasked with carrying out a military campaign against Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. According to some historical records, Afzal Khan first came to Tuljapur with his army and destroyed a temple that was considered holy by Shivaji's family. He then destroyed 2 more temples and camped at a town called Wagh that he had governed in the past. After that, Khan dispatched his envoy Krishna Bhaskar to negotiate. He sent a message that he was a friend of Shivaji's father Shahaji and that he would get the Bijapur Empire to officially recognize his territories. But Shivaji stayed put in his fort since Afzal Khan's army was better equipped. He was advised to enter peace negotiations, but he vowed to either kill Khan in a battle or die fighting. Subsequently, Shivaji chalked out a clever strategy. He sent his envoy to Khan's camp to give an impression that he was afraid of him and refused to meet him in Wagh, where his troops were stationed. He asked Khan to come to Javli, a small place near the fort with select bodyguards. The chosen place was heavily forested and he asked his troops to clear a way for the general and his bodyguards. The place was near a river and Khan's troops were stationed in a scattered fashion across the river. At the meeting, Khan apparently called Shivaji a peasant boy and asked him to submit to the authority of the Adil Shahi dynasty and become a vassal lord. Khan then embraced him, held his head in the crook of his arm and stabbed him in the back with a concealed weapon. But Shivaji, who was wearing chain mail inside his robes, suffered no harm. And then comes the role of the famous wagh nakh in the story. After being stabbed, Shivaji, who was wearing the tiger claws in his hand as a weapon, tore open Afzal Khan's belly with those. Khan was later beheaded for his treachery. Afzal Khan is said to have been over 7 feet tall, while Shivaji was said to be of medium height. This became a battle of wits rather than force. Sounds like a movie script, doesn't it? The wagh nakh was gifted to the Victoria and Albert Museum by Adrian Grant Duff, a descendant of James Grant Duff, who was an officer of the East India Company. The last Peshwa of the Marathas, Baji Rao II, surrendered to the British in June 1818 after defeat in the Third Anglo-Maratha War and was banished to Bithur near Kanpur. It is possible that he surrendered this weapon to James Grant Duff. According to the Victoria and Albert Museum, it has not been able to verify if the weapon was indeed used by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj himself. In recent years, British museums have been open to sharing their valuable objects with global audiences by partnering with countries and museums. Moreover, India has also stepped up efforts to retrieve valuable historical objects in possession of the British. In the recently concluded G20 meet in New Delhi, which took place under its presidency, India placed the repatriation of antiquities on its agenda. The timing of the wagh nakh's return is certainly noteworthy. The sentiments surrounding Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj are quite strong in Maharashtra, and the wagh nakh's return to India for 3 years coincides with the Lok Sabha elections and the Maharashtra Assembly elections next year. Enough said perhaps. What is your take on the return of this famed weapon of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj? Let us know.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more news and updates.